I'm just going to switch right now to my fan brush, filbert brush, sorry, from my fan brush to the filbert, because the filbert, if you tap and then push and get a ridge, is really good for doing these trees, the trees with the holes in. I'm just going to use that dark colour I've just picked up there. Now the shape of these trees is what I'm working on. It needs to be correct, so I've been very careful not to go too high straight away. I've gone lower than I wanted, knowing that I could always make them bigger. Reload all the time, push in again and get a fresh ridge of paint. Now this very end tree is quite open, comes out to about there, and it's a bit open on the top. See that? So you can see some bits of sunlight through it. I've actually zoomed in a tiny bit for you all, just so it's a bit easier for you to see. That's it. And then that goes up quite high. I might even make that a bit bigger than it is even. Just using the corner of the filbert there. Just the corner. You notice how I went from that angle to that angle? It creates a lovely effect when you do that. This is a bit more closed up in here, there's only a few open spots. Right, so this now is going to actually come on along here a bit and then up to there. You notice I'm being careful not to fill in all them areas, leaving some white spots in there. These trees here are about that sort of height. Like I say, I want to get this pretty identical to the original so that it's recognisable to people. Like I say, British Open were there this weekend. Man, I'd love to actually get an opportunity to go watch the British Open. Go watch them playing golf there. All the best, the cream of the crop are there. The best players in the world. Now, this again is just going to come down about there. Again, I want to leave some lovely open areas, so paint dark around them areas. And just leave a few standing out, because when we put those branches and stuff in, I want them to stand out, you see. It's like in here. Don't have it all totally covered in, we're going to put some branches in. Especially on the edge. In here we're going to tap a bit more. Still leave some bits of light through, but not as much. In this area here it's really quite blocked in. So I can just go in there and put a few bits of dark in, and then just leave some of the light showing through. There's an area here where I want to have the sun shining and blistering through the trees. That's where the gap is. I'm going to paint around where the gap is for the sunlight. I'm not going to block it in there yet. Few more. Actually separate them bushes sometimes as well underneath. Just tap a little bit into there. Soften them out like so. Now they're more open at this end. All the branches are a lot more open on the edges, and then more closed in the centre. Careful with that little bright spot just in there for now. Some areas are a little bit darker and some areas a tiny bit lighter. So you see that you can go back in with a bit of dark and then just block out certain ones that you want a bit darker, some a bit lighter, and that in itself will give the trees depth. That in itself will give them trees some lovely depth. Few on the base. There's actually, ooh, that's a weird shaped tree. There's a tree up here which has got a limb that's just sticking right out there. So I'll put that up, top part in first, and then there's this limb that's sticking right out from here. So I have to be quite accurate with it to get it looking like the one that's there. Cool. Again, keep it quite open. This tree here, we've got a bit of something just down in there. Cool. A lot of fun. As Scylla would say, a lot of fun. A few little limbs just sticking out on that edge. I just want to do the same thing in here. A bush there just underneath it. Now this is actually coming around there and down. Careful with this build up doing that. I want to put some reflections underneath so I'm not too worried, really. Right, cool. I'm just checking out the photograph so I've got the shape correct. Still not what I'm wanting it. Up in here, it's a bit straighter. Yeah, that's it. Because it's a full stand of trees, there's tons of trees in here. So what I want to do is just get a little liner brush and then just with a liner brush I'm going to get some titanium white. See that? Straight titanium, no medium with it, no nothing. Now this needs to come down a tiny bit more, just here. Just enough dark for it to contrast against it, and then with this white it's going to start there and I'm just going to pull up. See that? Again, reload just with titanium white. Getting a lot of paint on the brush though when you're doing this, and then I want one going at that angle. And I can get another one and put it at that angle. At the moment it just looks like lines, but I want it to look like the sun blistering through the trees. Now I'm more than likely going to have to go over this again and do it again, it's not a problem. And that sunlight is actually creeping its way through there as well. Forget this shadow area, dragging a bit of dark into it, that's not a problem. and then got one just there, and then a little one that fades off there. So what I'm going to do is use a clean fan brush, just a small one. I'm just going to use it in that angle. See that, just in there? And I'm just going to gently pull up at that angle. You've got to be brave to do this. Same there. Same like that. There. See that? Just make it look like it's glimmering out of there. That's why you need a lot of paint, see, make it go through that dark. And I don't want you to, that's worked out nice. Don't want you to worry about getting too any dark in this area, because you can go back and you can actually paint in there with that light white colour again. I'll just show you now. Just by using the corner of the brush, you can blend that so that it mixes with the white and it'll still look bright. And what I'll do is I'll let this dry slightly. I'll let it dry slightly, and then what I can do is I can come back in and make this area more white once it's dried a tiny bit. Just there. Turn it over. Try to pull that colour through. Tap it out if you get too much paint on there. Just tap it out on a paper towel or something. So that's the effect I want in. And then you can also still grab a tiny bit of white on the fan brush, and you can just, it's quite thick there, is that dark paint. Just pull it straight through like that. I'm going to do that again because we're going to have to put some reflections in water, and that glimmer will actually come past that point, you see, into the water. So that's why I'm not too worried about that for now. Right. Again, we're going to use a liner brush. So let's give it a quick clean off. And this time, instead of the white, I'm going to be using the dark colour. So I'll show you again. Same as I just did with that white, only difference I'm going to do it with the black for the tree trunks. Cool. So again, I'm just checking out the width, see how thick these trunks of these trees are. Some of them are thicker than others, but the majority of them are quite thin because there's loads of them there. That's it. So you can do a few fatter ones, and that's why I say to leave these open areas, because these open areas are where it's going to stand out best. So you just go for it and really get a load in there, because that's how it is. It's a proper big stand of trees, and then in the thicker area in here you can apply a bit more pressure, because obviously they're bigger trees. Wonderful. Don't worry about it coming past. With this one here, I just want to pull up. Just go up to it. That's there. We've got a wonderful frame that's going to match this. It's the frame that I did on painting canvas frames. So I want to show you guys how it looks when you've actually finished your painting. Once you've done your frame, you do this, and then when it's finished, it's amazing. The feeling you get from it as well. It's awesome. So a lot of trees going on in there. Tons. And then as you come over this area towards the light, be a bit more careful. have them disappearing off into that. I can actually go back, and any that are standing out too much I can change that, no problem. Even this tree here, it's made up of about 4 different trees all stuck together closely. Get a few a bit sparser on the ends. For instance, this tree here is all on its own. This branch is hanging out of it. You can even sometimes with a liner brush just go in there and paint indications of leaves if you've missed any areas. Just put little branches on there, but don't kill it. Allow them branches to stand through there where you've left the light areas. There. Oh, that's where it's at. Okay. Less, like I said, at the ends. I'll have a look just to check that you guys can see that fully. Zoom a little bit more for you. Now you can see it. I'm actually going to drag, it's not long enough yet. So I just want to make a few little adjustments. These still want to be a bit higher. They do get smaller than these on the end, but still not really the size I wanted it. And that branch, just a branch that sticks out of there. And then on this other end as well, it actually comes out further. Right out. Leave it open.